In this video, we are going to introduce regular expression. Computational power recording, when we compare regular expression and the finite automata that we have discussed in the earlier class, both regular expression and finite automaton has an equal power. But the major difference between regular expression and finite automata is that the regular expression is an algebraic description or a declarative way of expressing a language. It means that here we express a language with the help of the operators. We'll see in the forthcoming slides what are the operators that are available. While in case of finite automata, it is nothing but a mechanical representation, a model representation we make use of for recognizing a language. So the major difference between finite automaton and regular expression is the way in which it recognizes the language. I'm repeating again, in case of finite automaton, we make use of models for representing a language. In case of regular expression, we make use of operators. That is why it is called as an algebraic description of a particular language. Though they make use of different representations, the language represented by finite automaton and regular expressions are equivalent. That is, both regular expression and finite automata recognizes the same language known as regular language. So before we go into the construction of a regular expression, we'll discuss the operators of regular expressions. There are three different operations that we can perform on a regular expressions. They are union, concatenation, and the closure. So we say we'll take two languages, say N and L and M, and the set of strings that are performed by unioning, that is performing or applying union operations over the language L and M, or the set of strings that are present either in L or in M. So union is nothing but OR. So here we take the language or we generate the strings. We know that language is nothing but a set of strings. So those set of strings are the strings that are obtained or taken either from L or from M. So consider this example. Here L is equal to 0, 1, 1, 0, 0, 1, 1. Similarly M. So we construct a new language, say L union M, by taking the string either from L or from M, right? So I have not taken, that is I have taken epsilon from M. Next I have taken 1 from M. There is no order. That is first either a string from L have to be taken or from M it have to be taken. There is no, and also it is not compulsory that the strings have to be selected in alternative manner. So in any order we can take, but and also it is not compulsory that the strings from both L and M have to be taken simultaneously. Right? Union is nothing but OR operation. I am selecting the strings either from L or from M. Next is the concatenation. The concatenation operation is same as that of the string concatenation operations that we have learned in our programming languages. Right? So here the strings of the language L concatenated with M is obtained by taking a string from L and concatenating with the string from M. See here when I say L dot M, concatenation is indicated by the dot operator. Sometimes they will not be using the concatenation, that is dot operator also. They will be consecutively writing L and M, L followed by M. In that case, it should be understood that the strings of the language L is concatenated with the strings of the language M. Right, we'll go ahead with an example. And one more point that is important for us to remember here is that when they say L concatenated with M, it means that the strings of L have to be followed by M. At any cost, we should not change this order. That is, we should not concatenate the strings of M followed by L. That is wrong. Okay, when we say L concatenated with M, the strings of L must be followed by the strings of M. Okay. So again, we'll take the same example that we have seen for union operations. So here we say it is a concatenation operation, right? So I've taken the strings, all the strings that belongs to the language L, and I'm concatenating with the string epsilon that belongs to M, right? So 0, 1 dot epsilon. Epsilon is nothing but an empty string. It does not have any symbol at all. So 0, 1 dot epsilon is 0, 1. Then 100 dot epsilon, the same string, there is no change. When I concatenate with 1, 0, 1 concatenated with 1, it yields the string 0, 1, 1 and so on. Right? So the last operation is nothing but a closure. It is also known as clean or star closure. So we have learned already, right, in the first unit about the positive closure and the clean closure. So it is nothing but repeating a string that belongs to a particular language 0 or more times. So I am repeating 0 or more times. Hence, this closure includes an empty string in its language. So we can repeat the strings at any number of times. So there is no upper bound for the number of strings that is generated. Similarly, there is no order at all. Even I can take a particular string and I can repeat it n number of times. Or else I can alternate the choice and I can repeat those strings. So thus we have discussed the three operators. What are they? Union, concordation and the closure operators. So whenever we have more than one operator, then we will also have a operator precedence. Right? In programming languages, we have operator precedence to resolve the ambiguity in evaluating an expression. Similarly, here also in regular expressions also we have operator precedence. So among these operators, the star operator, which is nothing but the clean closure, has the higher precedence, followed by the concordation, then followed by the union operations. The lowest priority goes for the union operator. So we have to remember this. So operator precedence for the three operators are the following. Closure has the highest priority. So whenever an expression consisting all the three operators are given, we have to evaluate the expression, first the sub expression consisting of the closure, followed by the concordation, followed by the union operation. Okay, we'll go ahead with an example. First we'll discuss the simple examples, then we'll go for the complex one. Okay, so what this expressions, that is we are going to construct uh, regular expressions for few languages. The first one we are going to see is all possible strings of zeros and ones. So we have to generate all possible strings of zeros and ones. It means what are all the possible strings that I can generate with zeros and ones, that has to be generated with the help of these operators. Okay, this is the regular expression. What do we infer from this? Here 0 or 1. Why I have used parenthesis? Because star operator has higher precedence over the union operator. So to override the precedence, I have used the parenthesis. 0 or 1 have to be repeated how many number of times? Infinite number of times. Because what is the question given for me? All possible strings of zeros and ones, right? And also all possible includes an empty string also. That is zero occurrences of the symbol. So hence epsilon. So instead of using plus, I have used star, right? So we'll just go through how we got the string. See, I have got the 0 because I am repeating 0 once. Similarly, we're repeating 1 once. So what do we infer from the 0 or 1 repeated n number of times? So in this, how we have got the string 0, 0. First, with the first, I have iterated this for 2 times. In the first iteration, I have selected the string 0. In the second iteration, also I have chosen the string 0. Hence, I got the string 0, 0 after applying the closure operators. So when we come to this string, I have applied the closure operations 5 times. In the first iteration, I have chosen the string 1 followed by 0, then 3 ones. Okay. So this is how we generate strings of all possible zeros and ones. The second question is all possible strings of zeros and ones containing 0, 1, 0 as a substring. What do we infer from the automata construction? So whenever we have to generate a string containing a substring, it can be succeeded and preceded by any valid string that belongs to the given character state, right? So I can write an irregular expression for this like this. So 0, 1, 0 have to be there in the string. It can be succeeded and preceded by all possible string that belongs to this character set. So we can write a regular expression for this given language. Similarly, when we are given a question like this, that is all possible strings of zeros and ones that begins with 0, 1, 0. So it has to start with 0, 1, 0. After that, I can have any possible string that is made up of the given character set, say 0, 1, right? So 0, 1, 0, which is given in the condition, followed by any possible strings that is made up of zeros and ones. So thus we get a regular expression like this. That's it.